Hello everyone, welcome to eClassopedia. I am Shiva Manohar, tutor in eClassopedia. This is an online tutoring platform where we cover all the subjects and international curriculum, including IGCSE, IB, Cambridge, UK, US, GCSE, Edexcel, Singapore, and other international curriculum. Also, we coach for the competitive exams like Olympiad, university entrance exams, and many. We have students from more than 50 countries, including US, UK, and many countries in Asia. In this video, we will try to discuss about some topics regarding SAT Math. Again, in SAT Math, we will discuss more about the strategies to approach the math section, shortcuts to do the questions faster, and some important points with a couple of examples. So first, let's discuss about some of the important points to keep in mind before preparing for the exam and giving the exam. SAT Math is not like other math tests because majority of these questions are multiple choice questions. So it's not important that you know the actual procedure to solve it. It's easy if you know how to use the options to get the question to. So we can employ some shortcut methods like plugging in, back solving, and other things. Also, you need to take regular tests and keep reviewing them to make yourself better. I recommend at least 4 tests before you go to attempt the real SAT test, but the more it would be better. It is also important to review those tests and make a database of where your weak areas are and keep working on them simultaneously. Also, one more important point is many of the students, when they complete the sections earlier, they immediately move on to the next sections. It is not good to do that because if you complete a section early, give yourself some rest and then start the next section, it would be better. Using calculator in SAT test is also very important. You need to make yourself familiar with different concepts of graphing functions, converting the decimals to fractions, using exponents, radicals, and sometimes some special and complicated functions that are asked in the exam. So if you're familiar on how to use these expressions in the calculator, it would save a lot of time and effort in the actual exam. So regarding some general strategies, it is important for you to first understand the pattern of the paper. I think many of them know that in SAT Math, the questions are in the increasing order of their difficulty. So at the end, you will be facing the hard questions, and at the beginning, you will be facing the easy questions. Many students adopt a strategy where they hurry up in the beginning of the exam to devote more time at the end for the hard questions. That is a good strategy, but only if you're very confident in what you're doing. Because if you're very fast in doing the easy questions and make mistakes in that, so your score will be very less even if you're doing the hard questions better. Because hard questions take more time and effort, and you might be taking more time to solve only few questions. If you give a little bit more time to easy questions and do them better, that will help you to get a better score. So accuracy is greater than speed in this test particularly. Also, you need to make sure that you attempt all the questions because there is no negative marking in this. Also, since you know that as you go from the beginning to the end, you will face harder questions. When you are able to solve a question very easily, you should be aware of whether that is correct or not because some of the options might be tricky, leading you to the wrong answers. Adopt strategies like plugging in and back solving. Plugging in is nothing but you can just assume some random values based on the question, and back solving is where you choose options to check whether the question is satisfied or not. Also, there are some other shortcut methods which we can discuss in the course. And some of the common mistakes students make is they misread the question in a different way. For example, a question might be having two unknowns, x and y. So if the question is asking y, some might end up answering what is x. So these kind of mistakes need to be avoided. If you are new to the SAT preparation, or if you already started it and facing some problems in doing it, so you need to go back to the basics because basics are important not only for the SAT math section for any exam you are attempting, And for SAT math particularly, some of the basic concepts that you need to be aware of are what are integers, what are prime numbers, what are even numbers, what are odd numbers, what are multiples, what are factors, and operations in fractions, and what are remainders and divisibility rules, how do digit places work, and some of the inequalities, system of equations, solving equations for unknowns, sets, and some of the symbols. And these are the some of the concepts which are very important, and there might be some other concepts as well. So whatever your preparation is, your basics should be strong first, only then start attempting tests and keep reviewing them to make yourself better. So now let's discuss an example. You can pause the video and read the question. So in this question, if you observe, it is said that there is a guy named Stephen who wins the lottery and he donates 30% of his winnings to charity, and then he is deciding 20% of what he has left to his mother. So we need to find what percent he has at the end. So there are four options given. So the usual procedure might take long. So here plugging in is a strategy that you can employ to do it faster. So we don't know how much Stephen won in the lottery. So let's say he won $100. So if he won $100, he is donating 30% of his winnings to charity. So if he has $100, 30% of it would be $30. So if he donates $30 to charity, he will be left with $70. And now he is deciding to give 20% of what he has left to his mother. So what he has left was $70, and then he is giving 20% of that $70 to his mother. So what is 20% of $70? It will be $14. So if $14 are given to his mother, how much will be left with him? He had 70, so 70 minus 40. So that would give you 56%. $56, which is 56% of the initial $100. So the correct answer would be option B, 56%. So this is a fairly easy question, but most of the students might make a mistake in reading the second sentence of this question, where it is said that then he decides to give 20% of what he has left. So if you are in a hurry, it might not be observed what he has left. So instead, what do they do? In $100, they take the 20%. And what do they do the calculation as? In 100, he already gave $30, and now he is giving 20 more. So the leftover part would be $50, which means 50%, and many of them might mark it as option D. But reading the question carefully will give you the correct answer as B. Okay, I hope I made myself clear. So you need not be in a too much hurry to solve the questions. You need to read the question properly, because misreading the question is one of the most common mistakes made. So I'll give you another example in the next slide. So this is a question in the geometry section of the SAT. You can pause the video for a minute and read the question. So the question is asking about the perimeter of the equilateral triangle and squares. It gives some variables, and you can use them with the formulas of perimeters to find the answer. That is one way. And one more way would be using the plugging in strategy, which we used in the previous question. So try to answer this question in the comment section below. If you're using the plugging in strategy, tell me what are the values you use to plug in. So that is it from my side. Please like the video and share and subscribe. So registrations are open for this course. For any queries or assistance, you can feel free to get in touch with our team at this number and email. You can also register for a demo session through eclassopedia.com, and the link is given in the description box below. Thank you.